Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading. This is your bonus reading for April 2025. You have the lily in the clouds. This is from the Gilded Lenormand, and in Lenormand we use combinations. So the lily in the clouds can definitely represent like blocked communication or, kind of like lacking communication. And so there could be some sort of blocked communication. Now we start with the tower in your reading. And I wouldn't even worry about the tower because you have the star coming up after it. But, the tower, and also the strength card. Now, the strength card can also represent kind of communication. It represents words. She has her hands in this lion's mouth. And the lion represents like her inner critic or her inner demons. And the lion is submitting to her. Now, also, I will say that the strength card is your crossing energy. So just putting all these pieces of the puzzle together here, Gemini, this could represent kind of like conquering yourself or, needing to overcome the words that you use against yourself. Or with the two kings here, because the clouds is the king of clubs and the lily is the king of spades in the playing card reading system. Like, kind of what's popping into my head is that you are a Gemini. You are the twins. You are two people, right? And so there might be some sort of conflict between like two ideas that you're having right now. I don't even think this is about people. This could just be about like two ideas that you have or, kind of like a reality that part of you is accepting, but maybe the other part of you is not accepting. And so it's kind of an interesting reading. Your outcome looks amazing. I mean, the last row has very good cards. And like I said, I wouldn't really worry about the tower because you have the star coming up after it. And, that's definitely something we want to see in a reading with the tower is the star coming up. It says that you're healing from a tower moment. So like I said, I'm not too worried about this. As a matter of fact, I'm more worried about this right here. Your crossing energy is a strength card. And the strength card, of course, is about having inner strength. This lion, its tail is between its legs here, and she has her hands in the lion's mouth. And so the strength card kind of represents taking control of the words that you say to yourself, or taking control of the words that you want to say, even in this situation, because again, the lily in the clouds can represent blocked communication or communication that isn't coming through. And I'm starting to feel that this is about you speaking your truth. But I kind of feel like speaking your truth is a little bit cliche. It's like we can speak our truth without saying a word. We can speak our truth by doing what we actually want to be doing in life. So if you're doing something that you hate in your life, or if you're doing things that you don't want to do, it's like you don't really have to say anything. You can just go and do what you do want to do, and then in that sense, you are speaking your truth. In the area of your thoughts, you have the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction, or, she's stuck inside these swords here and she needs to set herself free. And so I think a lot of you do need to set yourself free at this time. This is coming up again in the area of your thoughts, so this can represent stuck thoughts or kind of like only thinking about one way of doing things, or only thinking that you only have one solution to something that you're dealing with, or you only have one answer to a problem that you're dealing with. And I kind of feel that with the Eight of Swords. It's like saying that you need to realize that you are the king or the queen of solutions. You're a Gemini. You're able to see both sides of something. And I'm wondering if like this reading is encouraging you to return to your like Gemini self, or to your Gemini superpowers, which I'm pretty sure sorry, I'm choking. We've been talking about for a while. And so that's what I would encourage with the Eight of Swords. I don't really have any good advice yet, if I'm being honest. So let's see what comes up as we clarify. You have the star in your foundation, which is great for sure. Having the star in a foundation position is just good in general. The foundation position in a Celtic cross is kind of like your foundation. It's like where you're coming from, or it's your launch pad for the rest of the reading. And so the star says you're healing from a tower moment. Now, sometimes I feel with the star that we have to like whole ass one thing. We can't half ass something that we're doing. She's like dipping her toes in the water here, but it's like maybe she needs to like dive into the deep end and she needs to commit to something 110%. I say this because we go up to the Four of Wands here, And the Four Wands can represent marriage, but the Four Wands doesn't have to be marriage. It could just be a commitment that you're making to like a new direction in your life, Gemini, which definitely the Tower can bring in a new direction, because the Tower is a Tower moment. Those people are coming down to reality. They've been ignoring reality for too long, and now they're having to face reality for how it actually is, right? And so they're having to commit to something like a new direction in their life, or they're having to commit to reality. And so I feel that for a lot of you. The star can also kind of represent wish fulfillment, so there could be like some sort of wish coming in for you as well. Next, in your past position, you have this magic and curse card. You have this pregnancy and fears card. You have the Ace of Wands as well, which we'll talk about in a second. So I feel that some of you almost have felt cursed recently, or I don't think it's like a real curse, but I feel like some of you feel like you can't it's like it's almost like this feeling of needing to get out of your own way. I'm just gonna describe what I'm feeling here, Gemini. Maybe it'll make sense, but it's like this feeling of needing to get out of my own way. And like I feel like you're saying this to yourself. It's like maybe that there are certain things that you do, or certain things that you believe or whatever, that are kind of like getting in the way. And I feel more fears. I don't really feel pregnancy here. Of course, it's true for some of you that you could have been fearful that you're pregnant, but I feel more kind of like needing to get out of my own way type of energy. And we also have the Ace of Wands. Now, I think that inspiration has been missing for a long time. I say I think because I actually don't know. I just have a sneaking suspicion. It's not really an intuitive message, right, that I feel here. It's more like I have a feeling, kind of just thinking that maybe finding inspiration or finding the excitement that you need to get started in your life has been missing, which it's very hard to do. Again, I am also like that, Gemini. Like, I am definitely a type of person that if I'm not excited to do something, I just can't do it. I can't even, I can't really motivate myself to do things that I'm not really super excited about. And I feel that energy on the Ace of Wands, where it's like I feel you have been seeking or searching or looking for something that excites you. And it could be in multiple areas of your life. Like, this could be in business, it could be in work or career, it could be in love, it could be in your health. And I really feel you're looking for that, that spark. And normally I would say that you have it with the Ace of Wands, but I feel that more the Ace of Wands is saying you haven't had it and you're looking for it. And, the star is very inspirational, and it's coming up in a more future position. So I do feel very good about the star. Like, I kind of feel like you are going to be finding that inspiration that you've been looking for. You have 3 cards here in the area of your very near future. Sorry, I have to switch cameras. You have this surrender card. So, sometimes I do think the universe tries to force us to just surrender to nothingness as well. It's like sometimes we get to an area of our life, I believe, where it's like we try to like force things to happen. I'm sure you've all been in one of those moments, or maybe you've heard someone say before, like, I've tried everything, but maybe the answer is to do nothing, right? And it's like, isn't it funny that like once we surrender to that something happens, right? So maybe it is just about surrendering to the nothingness, right? You also have this transition card and this intuition card. 6 of Swords is a transition, so it wouldn't surprise me if some of you are going through like a big change or a transformation or a transition. The intuition card is about following your intuition. Of course, we are in a very intuitive time. We have a bunch of energy in Pisces. Venus and Mercury are both retrograding into Pisces. So, depending on when you're watching this video, Mercury will have moved forward. And again, depending on when you're watching this video, Venus moves forward on like the 12th of April. So, in a lot of ways, we are in a very intuitive time, and our intuition should be becoming clearer after the 7th, because Mercury will be moving forward. So I would trust your intuition. Also, in the area of the very near future, you have the 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords is moving on to calmer shores, heading towards improvements. I do kind of feel that for some of us, we are in a time where it's a little bit like back to the drawing board type of energy. I think the best way I can describe it is it's like the past many years, I think, have been like college for a lot of people. But a better way to describe it would be like, imagine you're in college for something and you also have a paid internship, right? It's like you probably have been getting paid for like the job you do or the work you do, or if you've been learning in some other area of your life, you probably have been getting a result. So it's almost like we've all been through college, and I think what everyone needs to realize is like, now it's time to go do the real thing, right? Like now the universe is saying like, okay, the past many years, you have been training. I have been teaching you how to do something. And now you're not really starting over. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from a place of knowledge and wisdom. And now it's time to get like a real job. And I'm not speaking literally here. I'm speaking figuratively. Whatever the real job is for you is going to be something different. It's like maybe you've learned a lot of lessons in love, and you could be discovering like true love. Maybe you've learned a lot of lessons in business and you're starting a real business. But, there is kind of that feeling of starting over. But really, I think what people need to realize is we're not starting over. We're starting from a place of having a lot of information. So, that's kind of what the Six of Swords is saying to me. Next, in your outcome row, here you go. You have this card. It says, prosperity lies ahead. Love it. You have this other card, this full moon card. It says, conclusions are within reach. So definitely could be some more prosperity and abundance coming in for you. I do feel like some of you are starting to see the finish line for sure. The Four of Wands is a card of the finish line, and we will talk about that in a minute. Next, in the area of your next few months, you have the Queen of Swords. I kind of feel like this is just you, Gemini. I think you're just showing up in a strong position. One thing I will say about her is that she only has clouds halfway up her body, and it kind of represents the fact that she is finally seeing things clearly in her life. Now, a lot of people have been getting the Queen of Swords in this set of readings, and again, it makes sense. We're moving past the retrogrades, and now we can see things clearly, so, I just think people are seeing things clearly. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups, this is all relationships in your life. And Six of Cups is about playful connection. It says, especially in an area of the reading that could represent every single relationship in your life, it basically says, spending more time with those connections, with those people who you can be playful with and have fun with and just enjoy and all that other good stuff. Those are going to be the people that are going to best serve you and are going to best serve your growth. So I kind of feel that with the Six of Cups. I also do feel that there could be love coming in for you. Now, one thing that I do say about the Six of Cups is that, this is usually something that starts off a little bit more playful, and it is popping into my head for you, where it's like if you're meeting a new person, I think, and definitely, other people have had messages about needing to not rush, but this feels a little bit different to me. I feel like you could be spending a lot of time with this person, but it's like saying, not taking it too seriously is probably going to help this work best. And that doesn't mean that you're not serious about it. It just means that you're not putting a bunch of pressure on it. And I think both people, if you're meeting a person this month or even next month, like in May, or I would say June as well. So for the next few months, I would just, if you meet anyone, just don't tell them that you want to marry them right away. With the Four of Wands, right? I feel that Six of Cups is saying, this is good. This is something that will be good. Don't try to rush to the finish line with this person, because the Four of Wands is marriage. The Four of Wands is coming up in the area of your future feelings. And so you absolutely could meet a person that you feel like marrying. And I feel this is saying, hey, just play it cool, right? And enjoy the process. The other thing that we already talked about with this Four of Wands is that it definitely seems to me like conclusions are within reach. You have that card, the full moon eclipse. It says conclusions are within reach. Four of Wands is a card that represents a finish line. There's like a finish line right here, and it says you're getting very close to the end of something, or you're bringing something to an end. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be like wrapping up projects or, things that you're working on or whatever the case may be. And whatever it is, I feel will be really good for you and will probably lead to a celebration. Your outcome is the Fool. Of course, the Fool can represent a new beginning. I really like the Fool in an outcome position because, it just represents a fresh start, and it says that you are having a fresh start in your life. So I really don't feel much there. One thing that just popped into my head as I said that is that you're probably much more prepared than you think. Sometimes I feel with the Fool, he has this tiny little sack on his back. He's about to go through the entire major arcana. He's going on this big, huge journey in his life. So sometimes I feel with the Fool that we are actually over prepared for a journey, but we think that we don't have what we need, and that's kind of popping into my head for you. So if you're worried about like something new that you're starting, could be anything, I feel like that Fool is saying you have everything you need. You're over prepared, so you might as well get started. Let's see what wants to come up for you. With the Strength card in the Tower, you have the Queen of Swords. So again, seeing clearly. You could even be seeing clearly a reality that you need to accept. Again, I think the Tower gets a bad rap in the tarot. If we didn't have the Tower, we would all still be wearing diapers, right? We have to have Tower moments in life. I don't know about you, but I don't want to wear diapers. So there you go. But what I would say is that, you could be clear about a reality that you need to accept. The whole point of the Tower is that those people are being brought down to reality. She is looking over to the Six of Swords. So she's choosing to move on from something that maybe is holding her back. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Hermit. Yeah, it's your time to shine. It's kind of lame because it's like everybody's time to shine right now. We have Pluto in Aquarius. The only way to live is going to be to get attention moving forward. So, I don't know. I think everyone needs to kind of put their special skills out into the world and, needs to shine bright. I mean, we have AI and, soon the robots will take over. Who the hell knows what's going to happen with that, right? Maybe it'll be like Terminator. Maybe the robots will be our friends. But, either way, I would say that, if you want to make money in the future, I would definitely consider shining bright, using your skills, right? Excuse me. With the Star, you have the Tower again. So, like I said, wouldn't even worry about the Tower with the Star showing up here. You could be healing from a Tower moment. You could be gaining clarity on a Tower moment. This really could be a breakthrough as well, Gemini, because the Tower can represent a light bulb moment. And like I was saying here, with the Star to the Four Wands, it's kind of like you have to commit to something. So you could be committing to like an idea or the Star. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Ace of Wands. Yes. There you go. I don't even know what to say about it because we probably already said what we needed to say. One thing that's popping into my head here for you, Gemini, is that the Ace of Wands can be like a flash in the pan. It can be a spark that just pops into your life. But if you don't take advantage of that spark, if you don't build the fire, right, then nothing is going to happen. So I don't really get this feeling, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's almost like this here is saying that you need to commit to a spark. Like if you have a sudden idea, a sudden insight, a light bulb moment, make sure to build that fire so that you don't miss out on the spark. And again, there's a lightning bolt at the top of the Tower. It's like you could be having a sudden, revelation or a sudden wake-up call or a light bulb moment that you need to take advantage of. With the Six of Swords, you have the Justice card. Yeah, justice is justice. You could be feeling like you're getting justice for a past Tower moment, or you could feel like you're creating balance from something. The Justice card can also be cause and effect. So you have to pay attention to like what's working and what's not working in life. And I always say with the Justice card that we have to double down on the side of the scale that is working. So if like we're trying to progress in life, there are things that work, there are things that don't work. Double down on the good stuff, and things will get better. With the Queen of Swords, you have the World. There we go. So we have the World to the Fool. When the World, that's how the major arcana works. We go from the Fool to the World, and then we start all over again as a Fool. So there's definitely some sort of new beginning coming in for you. The World can also represent completion energy or an achievement. So a lot of you could be clear on how, like, it's like you're getting clearer on how to get to the finish line. And so a lot of you could finally be seeing like how to bring something to an end, right? With the Six of Cups, you have the Strength card again. This is turning into a Cancer reading. Cancer always gets repeating cards. You have a bunch of repeating cards in this reading. Strength card twice right here. So the Strength card is about your inner strength. And remember what I was saying about, like, don't rush right into a connection. Don't be too quick to tell this person that you're, like, in love with them if you want love, right? And the Strength card is a card of patience. The Strength card is about, like, being strong and not repeating past mistakes. And so that seems to be something that's important for you, Gemini. With the Four of Wands, you have the Knight of Wands. Freedom, basically, Four of Wands is a card of setting yourself free. It is the card of freedom in the tarot. The Knight of Wands is free to do whatever the hell he wants, right? He is a card of spontaneous energy. He kind of goes on spontaneous adventures. He moves in whatever direction he wants to move in, and he's willing to be spontaneous and more playful, which we kind of talked about with the Six of Cups. I think being more playful would be a very good energy for you. With the Fool, you have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is resting, relaxing, recovering, but the Four of Swords, there is a person in this stained glass window who is blessing another person. I kind of get the feeling here that you've asked for an opportunity. You know, I think I overcomplicated this reading, so sorry, Gemini, I apologize, but I'm a Gemini moon, so I overcomplicate everything. But what I would say here is this reading is kind of like saying you've asked for an opportunity here, and it's like you are being blessed with the opportunity to create something new. And, you know, really that's kind of what this reading looks like to me. So there you go. We are going to pull some more cards, but this deck got all messed up, so let me fix it. You have this Generosity card. I love this card because this card represents blessings from the universe. It basically says that you feel like the universe is being generous with you. So definitely, if you have been praying or asking for some blessings, this could be blessings that you've been hoping or praying for coming in for you, which is great. You have this Endurance card. I do feel that, you know, Gemini has been on a long journey, and you could be getting the rewards of that long journey, or you could be getting, like, the recognition that you deserve from that long journey. So I feel like your hard work is kind of paying off here. You have this Lost card. This card is Saturn in Pisces. We have Saturn in Pisces right now. And Saturn in Pisces, I definitely feel pretty much everyone could be releasing one thing to have something better. I've been talking about it for weeks because of those two eclipses we just had in Virgo and Aries. And, you know, I think now is the time where a lot of people could be being asked to release what no longer serves them and being asked to do something new. You have this Order card. Again, a lot of people have been getting this as well. I do think it's an amazing time, like, to pick a strategy. Like, let's say you want to just do anything. I don't care. Doesn't matter what it is. I would have some sort of strategy. You know, for example, in the month of March, I decided I wanted to improve my writing. And so I've been taking this 30-day writing challenge, and I've been doing it every single day. It's like I have a strategy to get to where I'm going. And so this Order card, I feel like that's what it's saying. It's like saying there is some sort of strategy that you could commit to, and it could be anything. It doesn't even have to cost you money. There are plenty of people who share their strategies for things, for everything, online for free. So just go learn a strategy and try it. You have this Escape card. The whole entire reading is talking about an escape from madness or something like that. You have the Eight of Swords, the Tower, Four of Wands wants to set you free. The World is completion. The Fool is a new beginning. The whole entire reading really is saying you're, like, setting yourself free from something, or you know, you're escaping a limiting situation. Eight of Swords, you know, on a very simple level, the Eight of Swords can just, you know, the Eight of Swords doesn't have to be bad, is what I'm trying to say. It can just be limiting. It can say that you're in a situation in your life, any area of your life, that where it's I don't know how to say this. It's like the universe is saying to me, to you, that you can be more. It's like the universe is saying you don't have to change, but you could, meaning that potential exists. And I feel like that is the move you're making here, Gemini. It's like you are making a move towards, like, your full potential, right? Pretty good. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.